I'm pretty sure, kind of think about it, your music probably cuts the second that fades out,
It does.
right? So you probably can't hear that. All right. Welcome to the Thorn 2-pack. What is... That's so distracting. I am Thomas Edward Kiely, General Manager, Thorn Brewing Company. With me, as always...
Taylor Allen, Sales Director for Thorn.
Hold on, you let me finish. With me, as always, my little hunk.
This guy.
Taylor, welcome.
What up?
All right, Taylor, we had an active shooter situation at Thorn yesterday, and I want to see if we can play the video. We're going to do a little audio test. All right, let's see if this is going to work. You ready?
Bring it on.
And let me know if you can hear this. Hold on, it'll take a sec. All right, now try it. Can you hear it?
Hold on. Yeah.
Yeah? Sick. All right.
I think
Perfect.
so.
All right, so here's the rub. So, hold on. Yep. All right. So we're gonna pull up that video real quick.
Oh God, it's the best part is Hector. He makes me laugh so hard.
I had to do there's so much crap on the video, like of just like dead air. So it looks like the cops have their own like media team. That's I think Ernie was talking with the cops. He said he had a meeting with the cops at 9. I knew I was gonna pay for that.
Right.
I should have just shut my mouth. Yeah, we're live.
Active shooter.
This is a germ-free zone, please. All right. Go look at Candy Rustic Designs. Loser. So here's the rub. Actually, should I play? I'll play what the police said first.
Yeah, play that first.
All right, so we had an active shooter situation at Thorn Brewing yesterday, which involved about a dozen and a half cops with their guns drawn.
Oh yeah.
And here is... Can you cut that so I can hear that? Here is the police department's private news organization's coverage and interview right here. I'm going to play it. All right, we got a little interview coming up, so just bear with me. Oh, wow, what a gorgeous shot. So again, this is the cops live. Here you go. Oh, is that how you spell shop?
Oh, you can't hear him.
Huh?
You can't hear it.
Oh, no.
I could just hear fucking Dennis. That's it.
Really?
You can just hear Dennis talking in the background.
Oh, boo. Okay. Well, that sucks. Fucking Dennis. I'm turning that gain down. All right, here's the problem. We're having a little video issue. Here's what happened. Let me run it down. So about 12 o'clock, thank you. At 12 o'clock, the police showed up to Thorn, guns a-blazing.
Yeah. Ready to rock.
Yeah. And here, I was not here for it. Here is, to the best of my knowledge, how it went down in the backstory on what ultimately happened. So all these cops show up. They come into the brewery and say, hey, there's an active shooter in the building next door. And so they start to kick the team out. The team starts to leave. But there's some confusion as to whether it's in Thorn Brewing or whether it's not. The police didn't seem to understand that we are one massive building with it's really two buildings in one.
Right.
And that actually what happened was there was an incident in the distillery. But on the fucking news, they kept saying Thorn Brewing. They're driving that name through the mud.
Yeah, I saw that.
So, cops, guns drawn in the back alley here. And we have Neil and Ernie. Neil is at the very beginning of that footage, if you saw, is the guy in the brown shirt.
Right.
He is an employee of Thorn 3 days a week.
Right.
2 to 3 days a week, he's an employee of the distillery, and I think owns a small piece of it. He is the head engineer next door, and he's the head distiller on this side. With him was Ernie, who is now full-time over here on the distillery. He was part of Thorn. He's still part of the family.
Yeah.
So, if you saw the picture, again, Neil, brown shirt, brown shorts. Ernie,
white.
Blue jeans.
Yeah.
The white, always the freshest, whitest t-shirt. It's like he buys packs of t-shirts, wears them once, and throws them away.
Yeah, 100%.
They're always so, either that or he just knows how to wash clothes. I mean, a lot better than I do. And a cowboy hat.
Yeah, always a cowboy hat.
Apparently a call came into the police that there was a guy with a gun in the distillery at 9:30 in the morning.
Right.
It is now noon.
Yeah.
So the cops show up, and Ernie and Neil look out. They're sitting right next to each other. And according to Ernie, the cop is trying to, like, goad him to come out. And Ernie's like, yo, look at all these guns. I'm not coming out there.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? And in Ernie's opinion, they were trying to get him specifically, like, out of sight behind, like, a car. He thought to kick his ass. So Ernie and Neil shut the overhead door. Ballsy, barricading themselves in the distillery.
We're staying in here.
But there's still, like, enough cracks in it's a big old warehouse.
Yeah.
Like, it's all steel, but there's a lot of holes, you know. So Ernie's yelling to him, like, I'm not fucking coming out there. So hold on, I gotta call my dad. His dad used to be a cop. So he's like, yo, Dad, this is what's going down, what I do. And he goes, well, you gotta go out there.
Yeah.
And Ernie's like, yeah, but the assailant is in a brown T-shirt and shorts. He was fucking standing right next to me, and they keep yelling at me. So ultimately, there's like a sergeant or something. I don't know if it was that shop guy or not. 25-year vet on the force.
Yeah,
That's how the story is. And he goes to, he like kind of calms things down and gets things cool.
Right.
And they put Neil in cuffs. What happened was, Neil, we have been having increased criminal activity in the side yard and in the alleyway. It was a big hot spot for homeless people before we moved in. There still is some, people come around. And so there is, there's a couple, like, good guys that they just hang out and sleep. But some guys steal shit. We catch them stealing tools all the time. And
some dude took a speaker last week.
Yeah, some dude took a speaker next. Well, they live next door. That's an added component.
Right.
There's a halfway house next door.
Yeah.
I think it's halfway house. I don't know what else you would call it. And so they've had a BB gun in the back because when they called the cops on all these issues, the cops like, hey man, there's not really a whole lot we can do about it, especially if they're at the encampment, a couple blocks away. We actually have to have the whole force there to show up,
right,
to get the people to come out. And it's like, does it really make sense? And normally it's not like, it's not like a guy's got a bomb strapped to his chest. It's just a fucking nuisance out there.
Yeah.
So, and they're sick. It is what it is. But they're stealing shit.
Right.
They're like, so like they're like, all right, we're gonna get a BB, we're gonna shoot him in the butt if something goes down. That was their distillery, not Thorn.
Yeah.
Whatever they do, they do.
Yeah.
We use diplomacy at Thorn. And
I don't think it's gonna work with these guys, but sure.
At the ending of the story, diplomacy would not have worked. So, so Neil has the gun. A guy's walking his dogs down the alleyway. The dog shits, and the guy doesn't pick it up. Neil, who, by the way, maybe the friendliest guy, like nicest guy, just such a sweetheart guy.
Yeah.
He's like, hey man, you're not gonna pick that up? And they had a verbal altercation. I haven't heard Neil's take yet on what he said.
Right.
According to that police officer, Neil said something to the effect of like, I'm in a shooting mood or something like that. And he had the BB gun in his hand. Didn't point it at him, but had it in his hand. I don't know if Neil said that. But I guess it was enough to cause the guy concerned to call the cops 2 hours later. They got the call at 11:30, 11:45. That happened at 9:30. That means that happened while we were sitting here yesterday.
Yeah.
So now, so the guy goes on whatever, calls the cops. The cops show up. They think there's a real gun. Turns out it's just a BB gun. So all this, the whole commotion goes down. Ernie feels he gets profiled.
Yeah.
They finally have the conversation. I think they let 1 or 2 cops in to talk and diffuse it. They put Neil in cuffs for a bit.
Yeah.
They eventually uncuff Neil, and one of the cops goes to the guys and says something to the effect of, "You should be on the fucking ground with a boot in your face. If the sergeant, whatever, if the experienced guy wasn't here, one of you guys would probably have a bullet in you right now."
What?
Dude.
Savage.
So that's why fucking Ernie's on the Barrio Logan community group, and he's fucking livid.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Ernie's been having alley beef.
Yeah,
it's been a busy week for him.
Say, the beef has been escalating.
I know. And so he goes, so whatever, that all transpires, happens. Again, this is between noon and 1. Then about 4 o'clock, while we were eating beef up front,
right,
4:30, the guy that Ernie had a shouting match yesterday that stole the speaker, or one of his boys that stole the speaker, next door, him or a guy with him, apparently they were walking down to the brewery and back. So they're literally next door. So,
right.
But I mean, it's a long, I don't know, maybe it's 100 yards, 200 yards?
Yeah, it's 100 yards.
And it was Neil and Jimmy who actually built the Mission Hills tasting room with Neil. The two of them built it together. And Jimmy saw him once and goes, "That guy looks suspicious." Jimmy sees him a second time and goes, "That guy's casing. He's looking in to see what shit he can steal."
Yeah.
So Jimmy goes out there, and I don't know if you know, Jimmy and Neil are the perfect couple.
Yeah.
Because they're just, again, they're both nicest guys. But Jimmy's a little more, I'll say confrontational,
yeah,
but not aggressive.
Rugged.
Yeah, Jimmy's a little bit more he's more willing to be "Hey, you disrespected me right there. I didn't appreciate it." That's Jimmy,
right?
And it's such a sweetheart. And so he's in his, Spanglish. It was no entra, or something to that effect. To "You're not coming in here.
Right.
Get out." And then so the guy, he was near the guy that Ernie's with, that Ernie had the fight with the other day. Apparently, one of them's. They saw the guy earlier just shooting up right across the street, in the alley.
Right.
And so they have the shouting match. Guy comes out with a machete.
Yeah. It was terrifying.
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah. So I pulled up in the back to drop off some cases, and there's Neil out there with a hatchet, just defending his distillery. And I'm like, "Dude, what happened earlier?" And he's told me the whole story. And I was like, "What's up with the hatchet?" And he's like, "They told me just not to use a gun to scare him off." And I was like, "Okay, fair." And then I looked down the alley, and there's this dude just slowly dragging a hatchet back and forth, just staring at him. I'm like, I gotta get out of here. It was the most. It's funny, dude. I've been working with Thorn now for 6 months, and I've never felt unsafe in Barrio. Yesterday was the first time I was I'm kind of scared right now. I was it's usually never bad. I was
about a year and a half ago. That's right, because Scott Smith texted me. Scott Smith, he moved to Colorado, but I think it goes me and Scott, longest tenured full time people, and Scott was solo brewer in North Park. Then Shelly joined him. Then he came down here, helped do the plumbing, helped build the place, and then stayed on to brew. And he ran the packaging side. He had an issue one day where he parked down this end of the alleyway where the garage is.
Right.
And apparently he parked on the side of the street. The garage is really protective because they have 1 million cars in a small space. So they feel that they own the parking spaces on the side of the yard, which we didn't know at the time. Scott takes a spot, right? Just parks on the side of the street, gets out, and someone threatened him with a knife in the garage.
No way.
Yeah, so fucking loses him. I think it was him. I wasn't here. Him, Doug, Neil, and Eric got blow torches and wrenches, and they walked down the alley to go confront them. I'm
it's some Anchorman shit.
Exactly. I know.
Oh man.
I know. But it's for the most part it's not really the neighborhood itself is it's fine, especially in the populated areas.
Yeah.
It's just like it's any, like it's the industrial corner of the neighborhood,
Right.
that is right near all the the
riffraff.
homeless, the homeless encampments. And I personally, my girlfriend is like works with the homeless, has in the past, the homeless, mentally ill, drug addicted population.
Right.
And so I'm really sympathetic. I believe that most homeless people it's mostly mental illness. It's not like they're lazy and they don't want to work. Right. So to like prey upon them or to not like give them a little space is kind of like, I think it's a little messed up. Right?
I agree.
They're just, life's hard. They have mental issues. What do you want them to do?
Right.
We don't want to give them housing. So like they roam the streets. That's what it is. That being said, I think that there's like, I also think that it's fucking next to impossible for the police to fix this shit. Right. I actually, in my personal opinion, when you hear things like defund the police, one reason why I'm supportive of certain elements of that is because the idea isn't just to take away all the money. The idea is to reallocate that money to do stuff like take care of the homeless people. Police shouldn't be taking care of homeless people. Right. That's just like police shouldn't be teaching math. They shouldn't be fighting fires. Right. They shouldn't be taking care of homeless people. You know what I mean? They have way more important shit to do. So you should people that are trained to like have conversations with these people that understand their lifestyle and what they need and what they want and what works and what doesn't. That being said, when you're standing here alone and there's a guy fucked up out of his mind who's also mentally ill and he has a hatchet, what are you supposed to like?
It's terrifying.
Yeah. So now it's like, there are worse things than fucking holding a BB gun. Like, because I remember like even when they first had it, I'm like, are you guys just gonna fucking shoot homeless people with a BB gun? It's kind of fucked up. But it's like, no, we're not just like going around being like, hey, there's a guy taking a nap. Yeah. It's like, no, that guy that like has a bag full of our tools, it's like hundreds of dollars. Or that guy that's shooting up and has a fucking machete in his hand. Like, I'm not just gonna sit here with my thumb up my butt waiting to get fucking assaulted.
Yeah.
So
it's a little terrifying.
Yeah. So, quite a day yesterday.
Yeah, quite a day. Quite a day.
I missed it. And Sean hit me up. He goes, "You need to get down here right now." And I'm like, dude, when I go home, I take all my clothes off except my underwear. And I'm like, so I went, to work from home, made lunch, got butt naked, and Sean called me like, do I have to?
Yeah.
I don't want to get shot. Put on my clothes just to go get shot?
I don't want to deal with this.
No, but then it turns out Dennis talked to the cops and got it all settled. So
good.
That was a wild day.
It was a wild day. How was your beef?
Beef was good.
It was good, right?
I don't know if it was $14 good.
Nah, it's a little steep, but it's good.
But it was good.
It was good.
Yeah, he's. I talked to him last time he was here. I think he's a North Shore guy.
Amesbury.
The guy that he was with was Amesbury.
Yeah. Your
crew's Amesbury.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah,
Did they know?
No, I don't think they knew each other.
Oh, that's adorable. Yeah, so we had Jimmy the Beef.
Big Jim's roast beef.
He's Jimmy the Beef to me. Yeah. We get Jimmy the Fence, Jimmy the Beef. And, it was good. He popped up yesterday. Back to beer.
Yeah.
Did you see, I forwarded you the thing from Treehouse, right?
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite parts of being like in the industry. It's like, just like knowing things that like, it's not like rocket science.
Right.
It's just like, if you are doing the job, you understand. So when you see like, so Treehouse was like, it was their beer in a bottle. As everyone knows, Treehouse, arguably the best hazy IPA brewery in the country.
I agree with that statement.
They can everything, just like all hazies do. Almost nobody puts hazies in a bottle.
Right. And
it had like it was a picture of the hazy, and it said in a bottle, and it said, "Yes, we can," or something like that. And it almost seemed like they were suggesting that, hey, we had this bright idea. We're going to start doing bottles now too.
Yeah.
I have a sneaking suspicion they're struggling to get cans.
Yeah, like why would you go the opposite way, right?
Yeah, they probably need so many cans. I mean, what it could be is they want to expand and like get placed, but like they're not selling this shit
anywhere
in stores anyways.
It's only tasting room only, yeah.
So if they were already in stores, like in grocery stores,
right,
and they wanted to get more placements, hey, I want to be in the can aisle and the bottle aisle, and like maybe they double their
facings.
Yeah, the facings. I'd be like, okay, that makes sense.
Right.
I think they just can't get cans.
I agree with that. And they probably go through
And I don't blame
ton
them.
of cans. I was talking to some of my friends that go to Treehouse, and they literally buy it by like the cases. Like
Oh yeah,
4 or 5
They
cases.
they sell cases at a time.
Right.
No one goes there for a 6-pack because it's like a 2 or 3 hour wait.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you make a day of it.
Yeah, you make a day of it. You go there, you get a beer, and you buy.
It's also in
3
the
or 4
middle of
cases.
nowhere.
That's what I've heard. I've never been, but
It's like Central Mass. I've never been either.
I told you our boy over at Grocery Outlet. Shout out to Kev. He hit me up yesterday and was like, "Have you ever had Treehouse, Julius?" He's like, "If you can get me a can of that," he's like, "I will be so stoked." I'm like, it's one of those things where like it's sought after. It's so sought after.
Well, every time I go home, like my buddies all have Julius in their fridge, you know.
Right.
But that's the deal. Is like one of them will go out and like
Buy
go get
6
3-4
cases,
cases
yeah.
or whatever. I've looked at their barrelage. They're pretty big,
Yeah.
but it's all self. I mean, the amount of money they must get. Margins
making
are
bank.
great.
But I mean, high quality beer. If you can pull that demand, take advantage of it.
Yeah, it must
right?
be nice to have that water.
That was what.
Yeah, I can make haze like that too if I had the water profile.
Is that what Eric?
No, it's just like why are bagels and pizza so good? It's like the water. It's like why are West Coast IPA so good out here? It's like water profile. Why are Pilsen is so good in Pilsen? Shit like that.
Right. Yeah, I feel that.
Allegedly, you know what I say? As someone that doesn't brew, excuses.
Yeah.
Make me something to sell,
Lies.
baby.
Yeah, I agree with that. Oh my god.
All right. Well, let's go. Not get shot. All right, brother.